Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know why we've got another here we go for Christopher Nkunku. Literally, what, 2, 3 weeks ago, we had a here we go. So I'm not really sure why we've got it again, which is great. Double here we go. But there is an interesting story that's tied up with this, which we'll touch on in regards to Callum Hudson Odoi. Christopher Vevell is very close to getting all done for Chelsea Football Club. We want to talk about another wonder kid, yet another wonder kid, and once again from Brazil. We are scouting Brazil left, right, and center, and of course, Hakim Ziyech and Kovacic. We're going to have to talk about the third place playoff. Let's get on with this. All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at this Fabrizio Romano, here we go, which was delivered very early on UK time today. Christopher Nkunku deal signed and sealed. Here we go, now confirmed. Now, I don't understand why he's saying here we go, now confirmed. Literally 3 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, he did say here we go. So now here we go confirmed. So is there 2 levels of here we go that we need to look out for in the future? I don't know. All documents and contracts are also signed. It's 100% closed. French striker can be considered new Chelsea player July 2023. It's all signed, sealed with RB Leipzig and the player side note. Now, not going to go through what this player can bring for us, this, that, the other. We've covered all of that. I think everyone knows that. But what I will say, which I've said it many times, but I really want to repeat this again, is what our owners have done in regards to getting this player and how they've moved to get this player. That's fantastic. Getting in early. Let's say Nkunku is one of the most touted attackers in world football at the moment that everyone was talking about. And the fact that we got in early and got this deal done, we didn't trigger the release clause. I think that's been a key factor here, that we've actually done some sort of negotiations with Leipzig to make it a little bit more interesting for them, which is, I believe, a little bit more than the release clause. I think the release clause was something around 60 million euros, but we're paying somewhere around 70 million euros, which is still, I think, for a player for this caliber, in the likes of Christopher Nkunku, it is fantastic. So, look, the season 23-24 with a player like this on board, the preseason, I am really looking forward to. Hopefully we can make something out of this season so a player like Nkunku can potentially look at Champions League football next season at least. So let's see what happens. However, the story that's connected with this, which dropped yesterday early on, is this one in regards to Callum Hudson Odoi. I really want to elaborate on this a little bit and give you guys my opinion. I want to see what you guys have to say about it as well. At the end of summer, so this was obviously the last summer window that, in August, I believe it closed earlier this year. Chelsea offered Leipzig Hudson Odoi and Werner for Nkunku, but nothing happened because Hudson Odoi didn't want to be a make-way player. This is coming from Nathan Gissing, who is definitely connected internally and knows a lot about all of this stuff. Now, what I want to say here, at the end of the summer, Chelsea offered Leipzig Hudson Odoi and Werner. So obviously we know Werner's gone to Leipzig and we've been able to sell him. But we were looking to give Hudson Odoi as well to get Nkunku in this season. And this was offered late July, apparently. That's what's the rumor that's gone around at the end of summer. So potentially late July, early August. Now, some people are saying maybe this was on loan. For me, I don't think so, because if it was on loan, why would Hudson Odoi not want to be loaned out? He eventually got loaned out to Bayer Leverkusen anyway. I think this was potentially to sell Hudson Odoi along with Timo Werner. So I think what I'm trying to say here, the truth around Hudson Odoi, the new owners, I don't think they completely trust Hudson Odoi. They were looking to sell him. And to be honest, at that stage, during that time, the summertime, earlier on this year, there wasn't any solid argument that you can say and sit down and go, do you know what, we should keep someone like Hudson Odoi for the future. It probably was a right time to make a decision that, look, maybe get rid of him and bring in someone that we can potentially use. Now, A player like Nkunku coming next season, what does that say? We already know players like Christian Pulisic and Hakim Ziyech, they're up in the air. Their futures definitely up in the air. I'm quite certain, not sure, certain to a certain degree that perhaps those two players are going to get moved on. But now I'm also thinking, does Callum Hudson Odoi really have a future with Chelsea Football Club, knowing that Chelsea were looking to get rid of him? And as I said, I don't think it was a loan, because if it was a loan, then I don't understand why you wouldn't agree with Leipzig, but you end up agreeing with Bayer Leverkusen. So one to look out for with Nkunku coming in for next season, and there's talks about Leao and whatnot, other players as well, and we need it. It probably isn't just Ziyech and Pulisic. I think a player like Hudson Odoi could be someone that we could let go of, unless, and here's the caveat, he has an unbelievable second part of the season with Bayer Leverkusen. Bayer Leverkusen are struggling at the moment. New manager in Xabi Alonso, but they're still struggling. If Hudson Odoi can have an instrumental season, this second half of the season, then I can see maybe something can materialize for Chelsea football. If that doesn't materialize, I think he's on the chopping block as well. And to be honest, so far, every time I've watched Leverkusen, I'm more interested about Moussa Diaby. I'm not even kidding. I know there's a lot of fans out there that want to gas up, Hudson Odoi's situation, every little bits and pieces that Hudson Odoi does. They want to gas him up. But honestly speaking, he's not done enough yet at Leverkusen. The odd assist. I think he might have scored one goal or something like that so far. But in order to really love, he's got to smash in those goals and those assists in the second half. But let me know, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, are you comfortable to let go of someone like Callum Hudson Odoi at the end of this season if it doesn't work out completely with Bayer Leverkusen, knowing that we'll possibly look to get rid of him last summer anyway? Now, Christopher Vivell has signed the documents, long-term project and contract at Chelsea. He'll be announced by the club. This particular news has been going around for a long time. Finally, looks like it's coming to fruition. As I said, we've got some sort of relation happening with Leipzig and Nkunku. Now, Christopher Vivell, possibly the technical director of Chelsea Football Club, and not just Chelsea Football Club. I think the multifaceted structure that we're looking at, Chelsea owners looking to buy other clubs. I think Christopher Vivell will be the technical director across all of those clubs and overlooking the future of the philosophy of how the football is played in these clubs, what kind of players are coming in, and so on and so forth. So this is a very important position, and potentially, hopefully, a good relationship that continues on with Leipzig, because there is a one particular centre back that has lit up the World Cup and probably is the standout defender, is Vardiol, who ended up scoring, and we'll talk about that down the track, against Morocco. He scored. Croatia ended up winning 2-1 and getting that third place bronze medal. And I still think Vardiol is going to be so difficult, so difficult. Literally, all the top clubs, Man City, Real Madrid, are all circling around this particular player, willing to pay big money to get his services, 20-year-old. But I think Christopher Vivell is a huge trump card for us if we have a sniff of an opportunity to get someone like Vardiol. So we'll see what Christopher Vivell is able to do. It's not completely official as yet with Chelsea. It is a done deal, which is great news. Last but not least, in regards to transfer news, as I said, we want to talk about Croatia and Morocco as well. Yet another wonder kid. There is something happening, and I don't know why, or I don't know the motive completely, but potentially it is something exciting down the track. Our owners are hell-bound to get top youngsters. That vision of 2030, they want to get all of these youngsters, and I don't know what they want to do. Maybe build them in Chelsea Football Club, turn them into superstars, and then turn them over for huge profits. I don't know. Maybe that's the case. But here's another Brazilian wonder kid, ladies and gentlemen. Some people have been DMing me as well and letting me know about this player. I've seen some clips. He looks very good as a number 9, very mobile number 9 who can drop in, much like that Christopher Nkunku-esque. But if you look at some of the Brazilian fans are comparing these players like Victor Roque and Endrick to like Romario and Ronaldo, R9, the proper R9. But let's have a look at this particular news. Chelsea have been scouting Brazilian youngster Victor Roque over the last few months. This is by one of the Brazilian, I suppose, accounts, GE. 6 point something million followers, looks like 6.2 million followers. So it's not something to be taken lightly. Since Todd Bowley took over as the owner of Chelsea, there's been a clear strategy to target up-and-coming players for the future. Chelsea have already brought in a host of young talent from across the globe, and they look set to continue to do so. Now it appears Chelsea are staying in Brazil to find their next transfer target, with GE Globo reporting that the London club have been scouting Brazilian youngster Roque for months now. Great news. Maybe all those people that was recently brought in, backroom stuff from Brighton and other people, Joe Shields and whatnot. I don't think Joe Shields starts yet, but I'm pretty sure probably started doing some homework anyway. But yeah, those data analysts that brought in, apparently they've been doing some things in Brazil. This particular player looks very good from the clips that I've seen so far. But what is the plan, man? I mean, apparently the release clause for this player, 17-year-old, some reports are saying 60 million euros, some are saying 100 million euros. It's ridiculous amount of money to pay for a youngster. Endrick has gone for 72 million euros. This guy apparently is going for 100. Like, I don't know. Are they all going to make it into superstars? Every single one of these kids? Like, I'm not sure. We are banking on a lot for these kids to turn out to be monsters. They're 17. Like, it's a lot of pressure, man. Like, you don't know what the next 4 or 5 years could hold. And that level of money is incredible. But I understand, like, they don't want to miss out on the next big thing, the next Neymar, the next, whoever else from Brazil. But there's competition in regards to Victor Roque. Apparently PSG are heavy on him. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know how you feel about, like, for me, I'm more thinking now. I need now situation. I can't think so far ahead. For me, if now is not settled, how can we possibly go to the future? Do you know what I mean? Like, if we aren't able to secure a top 4 place and continue with Champions League, 1, that's income, 2, that's global brand, 3, that's a competition that a club like Chelsea Football Club should be involved in at a bare minimum, season in, season out. So, and then that attracts other better players as well. So, yeah, let me know. Let me know exactly how you feel about this type of players and more youngsters and so on and so forth. Now, let's talk a little bit about Croatia versus Morocco. As I said, third place playoff. Croatia ended up winning 2-1. It was in zombie hours. I wasn't going to do a watch along. It's too mad. 2 a.m. for me. I want to sleep. Potentially not really going to do a World Cup watch on because there's a lot of people doing it. But actually, tune in on the Big Six watch along. Might see exactly what those boys are up to. I think that's going to be quite exciting, that watch along. I might do a sort of reaction straight after it. But yeah, saw the highlights, saw the goals. Vardiol scored and really tips off a fantastic World Cup for him. Besides that Messi moment, how he got dragged, but anyone can look silly against Messi. Ziyech had a very good game as well. Kovacic, as per what people are showing in social media, I just saw the goals. They were very decent goals. But kudos to both Hakim Ziyech and Kovacic. Kovacic recently said, the teammates, Chelsea teammates, were mocking them and making fun of them, saying that those two players, Kovacic and Ziyech, will be the first one eliminated from World Cup. And boy, oh boy, here we are. They're the last one standing. So look, don't judge a book by its cover, man. Do not judge a book by its cover. I wonder who are the ones who are mocking him. Do you know what I mean? So, but Ziyech and Kovacic, 2 players, Ziyech, one who hasn't been favored, but Kovacic, injuries here and there, has been one of our standout, if not the standout midfielder. But in recent times, he's been managed, obviously, by Graham Potter due to injuries. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how things are once they come back. They're not going to be featuring against Bournemouth. kudos, as I said, to Croatia to get that bronze medal. Looked like Kovacic, Modric, and all. They were very, very happy with that bronze medal. So yeah, very interested to see exactly how these players come back now. What sort of attitude, what mood just before the World Cup. Kovacic, there was that report. Maybe he's contemplating his future. He's not really happy about all of these changes that has taken place in recent times. And his career at Chelsea has seen plenty of changes. And obviously Ziyech's case, it's well documented. But ladies and gentlemen, let me know how you feel about everything that we've talked about. Christopher Nkunku, Callum Hudson Odoi, what's the other Brazilian youngster? I forgot his name already. Victor Roque. Let me know about that. Christopher Favel. And of course, in regards to the World Cup players, who is your standout Chelsea World Cup player? Let me know. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. I shall see you guys for a live early UK time tomorrow. Talk about the latest news, Chelsea transfer news. Till next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care. See ya.